Lisa, why did you decide to move back across the channel after spending a season in France in the top 8 and come to a Premier 15s club based in London, quite far away from home?
No, obviously I have an experience of being down at Tyrrell's before, playing with the IMP Sharks. I know it's a league that is really envied upon by quite a lot of the nations in the world. Just the quality calibre of not only players but coaches as well. It's something that I really want to get back into and get back involved. Obviously I know it's a massive commitment now living down in London with all my family and friends being in Edinburgh, but at the end of the day, rugby is only a certain amount of time in your life, and I just got to take the opportunities while I can, and this one was far too good to turn down.
And what did you learn from playing over in France in the top 8?
Obviously learn a completely different game plan, completely different way of playing. Obviously France are known for their, better way to turn it is jouer rugby. They're really physical, really play off the cuff, and it really challenged me as a player, coming from a very structured team, and it really opened my eyes to different ways of playing. Obviously a completely different language was interesting to try and get to grips of, but a team were really great in terms of welcoming me in and helping me around, with that communication, especially as a 10. But I think again the most important thing that I learned over there was just to be a bit more flexible the way I play, and just be open to different ways of playing.
Yeah. And what was, obviously you mentioned it there, the quality of coaches, and a lot of Scotland players have decided to do the same as you and join a club in the Premier 15s. Why did you decide to make that choice and have a second stint in the Premier 15s after, as I mentioned, playing for DMP before?
I think, like I said, it's just the league itself is far too good a thing to be turning down, and from my first stint I really improved as a person and as a player, and I thought this is the place that really tests me as a player, and I really want to be back involved in it again, and especially with the developments that have been made over the past 2 years. Going in the first year when it was still pretty much in its infancy, but now it's so well developed, so well supported as well, and the coverage as well is fantastic, and any player should want to be part of this, and like I said, I just wanted to get back involved and give my little bit to back to Tyrrell's Premier 15 again.
And from an international perspective, as a former Scotland captain, how great is it to see your national team out there playing in the Southern Hemisphere for the first time and playing the Springboks and winning away from home?
I think it's fantastic. Over the years that I've been involved with Scotland, we've really gone on a massive journey, and from my first cap in 2010 to see what the girls are doing now is massive, and it was just brilliant to be able to watch them put in a really strong performance against a really good South African side and come away with 2 amazing wins and scoring about 16 tries in the process, which for Scotland has maybe been a bit of our downfall recently, is not being able to get enough times across the whitewash. But players really stepped up, and you're really looking at that depth that we now have as well, and watching on, it was fantastic to just be able to see how well they were doing.
And is that sort of your plan, your reasoning behind coming to such a prestigious and established club as Saracens, part of your kind of plan, if you like, to get back in that Scotland squad and pull that jersey back on?
Yeah, I think everything is always aimed towards getting back in that Scotland jersey. Alex was a really big driver of me coming down here. He's really big on the culture that we're breeding here in Saracens, and that is key to everything that we do. We'll always hammer back to that, and that's something that I, as a person and a player, really hold quite highly, as well as I want to have that really good team culture, because at the end of the day we're putting in so many hours of the day to then play on the weekend. Everyone's got to have those same sort of beliefs, same sort of values, and that really was one of the main drivers of me coming down here. And right now I'm just focusing on putting out some really good performances for Saracens, and making those performances then help towards a Scotland jersey. At the end of the day, if I'm not playing well down here, I don't warrant a call up again to the Scotland squad, but so far I think things have been going really well, and when that call comes, I'll be really excited to get back in the fold again, but it's not something I'm going to be hanging my hat on yet.
Definitely. And at the weekend, very tight game against Loughborough, your goal kicking literally won the game for your team.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you how much time and how much practice you put into your goal kicking, and to keep it at good and consistent level. Is it something you pride yourself on?
It was definitely a lot of pressure put on, but it's something that I do a little bit of training on. I try not to overkill it, because I think I'm the type of person, if something isn't going right, I'll get pretty frustrated with it, and then quite often throw the toys at the pram. So I do kind of spend at least about 20 minutes of a session at the end, just getting into the rhythm of things, not getting too stressed about it, and a little bit before the game as well, just so I know I'm going well. Recently did get a new kicking tee, so just been trying to work that in and see how that goes, but yeah, it's something that I do kind of pride myself on. I enjoy that kind of pressure and that responsibility of the, this is my role, this is my job, and I want to be good at it. Like I say, it can be quite stressful and a bit frustrating, but it's just getting those processes in and just making sure that they're solid the entire way through.
And just finally, obviously this club comes with a huge reputation, double Premier 15s champions back to back.
Yeah.
They have a reputation, and what has it been? Has it lived up to expectations since you joined last month?
I think it's been more than lived up to expectations. Like I said before, they really pride themselves on the culture in terms of the discipline, hard work, humility and honesty, and that's hammered home every training session we do on the pitch and in the gym. And I think there's such a high level of players from globally, girls coming across from Canada, obviously all your England players as well, and it's a really good mismatch of players there in terms of their experiences and abilities, but at the end of the day we're all driving each other to be better and to be the best team that we can do in that Saracens jersey. And yeah, obviously end goal is to get into those sort of positions again and get into the Prem final, but we can't really, again, humility is one of our things, so we can't start going on talking about games that are going to be happening at the end of May. End of the day, it comes down to the next game, and that's against Worcester this weekend, so we're taking that as the next step forward.